Hello again, I am Blunty, and I'd like to take a whack at dispelling some misinformation and misunderstanding and ignorance, frankly, that has swirled around Minecraft on the console since they were a thing, really. Limited world sizes. See, on the original PC version of Minecraft, the worlds are infinite. Well, they're not actually infinite, there is a limit, but it's so bewilderingly, mind-smashingly huge that for all practical purposes, they're basically infinite. But on consoles, they're not. And this comment from one of my recent videos on Minecraft is a classic example of someone who can't understand why, for example, an old laptop, much less powerful than a PS4, or even the Pocket Edition on a phone, can handle infinite worlds, but the console versions can't. And they're understandably frustrated by this. In the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita and Wii U editions, the Minecraft overworld is limited to a comparatively tiny 864 by 864 blocks. The worlds grew significantly on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch editions, with selectable world sizes of small at 1024 by 1024, medium at 3072 by 3072, which is where the Nintendo Switch caps out, by the way, and on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 you can have large worlds at 5120 by 5120. This increase in size when we got the new, more powerful consoles has led most people to believe, or rather assume, that world sizes are linked to power. They're not. And I've had this discussion almost every single time I've been streaming Minecraft on Nintendo Switch lately over on Twitch. People would come in and ask about the world size compared to PlayStation 4, for example, and I'd tell them, and inevitably the question would be asked, why can't we just have infinite world sizes on consoles? And the answer is actually very simple. Unlike the common assumption, it has absolutely nothing at all to do with the processing power on consoles, nor does it have anything to do with the size or speed of the RAM available. It's just that because consoles come with a set-in-stone limit to how big the save files are allowed to be. Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft all impose hard limits on developers in regards to the size of their save files. The hardware makers just don't want a single game to greedily gobble up most or even all of the available hard drive space, so they set limits developers are required to adhere to in order to publish on that platform. It's as simple as that. And Minecraft is far from the first or only game to struggle against this limitation. But Minecraft in particular has the potential to easily generate massive save files. For example, my own current world in the Java Edition PC Minecraft. Its save file is already well over 1 GB in size, and my world's not even that complex yet, but I have explored overland a fair distance while hunting for a woodland mansion one time and an igloo another time, and I walked distances greater in one direction than I could have travelled in a straight line in any of the console editions, by the way. Whenever you load up a new chunk of a Minecraft world, the game has to generate it, but then, forever after the initial generation, it has to keep track of the type, location, and status of every single block in that chunk, and save it to a file so when you come back to it later, it looks exactly the same as you left it. By way of example, a fully explored save file on the practically, but not technically, unlimited world size on a PC would apparently be over 8 petabytes. That is 8,000 times the size of the 1 terabyte hard drive in your average PlayStation 4. And much, 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 much larger than the 32 gigabytes you have on the Nintendo Switch. And it is much, much, much larger than even the largest microSD card you can get for your Nintendo Switch to expand that storage. This is the only reason Minecraft on console must have limits on world sizes, and why you will never have infinite world sizes for locally saved games on console. Unless, of course, Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo lift the save file limits, which just won't happen because it would cause huge issues for users who can't save a game because they're out of space thanks to a developer whose game soaked up massive amounts of save space for themselves. But if the Minecraft world was saved only on a server, let's say, then sure, the consoles could do infinite worlds. Like I said, this has absolutely nothing at all to do with the processing power or RAM available. On a server-hosted save file, all that huge amount of data would only be saved in the cloud. The cloud being a dumb term for dumb people made up by marketers who think you won't understand the word server, or perhaps would be worried by the reality that the cloud means very literally your private data is being stored on someone else's computer. Cloud sounds so much friendlier, doesn't it? Duh. But frankly, for most players, the medium and large-scale worlds on the current consoles will provide enough space, enough materials, and enough to explore for most people. It is frustrating, though, as limited world sizes do mean you could eventually, at least theoretically, run out of a limited but essential material in Minecraft that can't be grown or generated again, like diamonds, for example, for tools and armor, or lapis lazuli for enchanting. On the consoles, once you exhaust every last block of those, there are no more to be had. For me, the main concern is that in a limited world size, there's a chance certain rare structures will simply not get a chance to exist or generate at all, like an ocean monument. I love the sea lands, they're my favourite kind of lighting in Minecraft, but there is a chance my world might not generate one. Or the Woodland Mansion coming in the next update. The dense forest where they generate are rare on their own, woodland mansions are even rarer, and on a limited world size the chances of actually having one is worryingly small. And that's the real annoying part of these limited world sizes. But at least now you know. You can stop blaming 4J Studios for limiting your world size. You can stop pointing your fingers at the limited power of the console hardware. It's not the fault of either of those things. It's just a policy enforced on developers who want to publish their games on these systems. A sensible policy, by the way, that's saving you from headaches and annoyances of greedy games and crappy developers, from pooping huge save files over your drive and stopping you from being able to save your games properly when you need to. Infinite worlds don't and can't exist on consoles, so stop thrashing and flailing your arms and gnashing your teeth in frustration. Stop begging for the devs to make it happen. They can't. They're not allowed to. So you may as well just accept it and enjoy the game for what it is. Thanks for watching. Hope this has been interesting, useful, or informative, or at least entertaining. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.